That should not have a problem. I'm what you call a professional. Ah! Boys, on today's episode of Watching Me Have a Good Time, we are doing some mud testing. So let me give you a little context around what this is. So time is a flat circle, and we go through this vicious cycle every 10 years of everybody saying DI is superior, or no, short stroke piston is superior. And if you don't have a short stroke piston, you're gonna get killed in the streets, right? There are many good quantifiable benefits to a short stroke piston system. My main thing is I have a hypothesis that, and I'll probably roll in some footage of a bolt carrier so you can see what I'm talking about. The direct impingement system has two vents on the side of the bolt carrier. A DI bolt carrier vents gas out of the side in the ejection port, intentionally by design. So while these may get dirtier just from simply firing, I think that this gives it probably an edge over a short stroke piston system when it comes to moving debris out of the way that would be, I guess, on an ejection port or something like that. So today I've taken two 10.5 PSA uppers. One is obviously a DI gun and the other is a short stroke piston system using a Superlative Arms piston kit. By the nature of the Superlative Arms piston kit, I can tune the system so that roughly the bolt carriers are traveling approximately the same velocity, at least according to the ejection patterns. So what I've done is I've tuned the piston gun to match the ejection pattern of the DI system. I think that makes it more of a fair comparison amongst the two. Because if I put one extremely overgassed one against one that's really soft shooting, I don't think that's really a fair comparison. To be clear, obviously this is not scientific whatsoever. This is just like, I don't know, kind of for fun. And I kind of want to see what the system, the short stroke piston system does. I've actually already mud tested this particular 10.5 PSA DI upper in the past. And it actually did shockingly well. If I still have any of the footage, I'll roll it in. But I was honestly highly impressed that a PSA product was able to function with like a ton of mud on it. Hopefully I can reproduce that here for you today. And with that, let's get started. Oh, and one more thing. Go pick up some stuff from Phantom Industries. They sent me a message the other day telling me that they were gonna start letting out the air out of the cameraman's tires while he's sleeping unless you guys started buying more stuff. What do you think about that? He shook his head. Make a little mud. So first up, we're doing the DI. First up, we're gonna do the DI gun. So 5-round function check. All right, and we're just gonna start with the dust cover open because quite frankly, there's no point in trying it. Oh, we're gonna need more water. I think I'm gonna need to pour more water. There we go. All right, so if I'm being honest, that should not have a problem clearing that. So we'll give it a light shake. Come here. It's gonna spray you now. Ready? Oh. Well, now it's turned into a bolt gun. So that looks like that is already a failure for this. And honestly, that wasn't even that bad. So that sucks. But I'm going to move on to the short stroke piston to see how that does in a similar situation. Hopefully better than that. That sucked. Weapons clear. Abysmal performance from PSA. Alright, so did our best to clean the internals of the lower. Fresh magazine. So function test on the piston. It be working. Alright, so once again, dust cover open. I really don't see much of a point doing anything but. Come on. So I will say that's a little more, that's pretty soupy. And now I'm a little nervous after seeing the failure of the DI gun. This does make me a little nervous. I don't know if that's gonna work. So I'm gonna give it a light shake. Look at that. Like that to me is not horrible if I'm being honest. So okay. So the same exact scenario has panned out. But what I get, like 3? They'll let me go 3? Dude. That's so annoying. That's like worst case scenario for this video where they both do the same thing. All right, so now comes the next part. Can it be revived easily? Let's see. Ooh, it feels like gritty. The inside's not that bad, so like if you look at the trigger, I don't think the trigger is the problem here. Like the inside actually looks quite clean. I think it might run. No. Ooh. No. So let's move on to the DI one to see if that can be done any easier. So actually, I'm going to try to shoot it suppressed to see if that, no, there's no way. That additional back pressure will allow it to cycle. Granted, it's a flow-through cam. Nah, look at that. There's like a bolt over brass. All right, so we're back with the DI setup. Let's give it a little agua, see if I can revive it like this. Oh, this will go. I think. As soon as I put that mag in. Oh, look at that. I mean, it's still... No. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out the I mean, this locked up hard. Honestly, harder than the piston gun. Ah! Ah! How do I get this fucking thing off? Okay. Oh my god. Dude, I don't know if you could see that, but that's like clearly a chamber obstruction. Probably a good thing. So yeah, that's a chamber obstruction in there. Let's see if you can get it. So honestly, it's a good thing that it didn't go in the battery.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's like a dirt plug. What are you trying to?
I hold, you pour.
Yeah. You hold. I pour. A nice little dirt plug in this thing. I'll like beat it on a tree. Yeah, that kind of worked. See this guy, and we are clear of an obstruction. All right. Let's see if simply washing the bolt carrier and charging handle will remedy the situation. I kind of doubt it. Just judging by how hard this thing went down. Doesn't feel too bad on the bolt. So this actually feels okay. Let me put it back together. Still some hesitation. I can't see anything, so I'm not entirely sure why it would be doing that. Chamber's clear, barrel's clear. I'm what you call a professional. I'm like down here in the dirt. There's something grabbing in the chamber. Now the question, do it work? Oh my God. Magazine seated. It do not work. Ah! All right. Now I guess I'll try it with that one. We're gonna try to see if I can revive this. Oh dude, this one is like in way better shape. Dude. So there's no gas rings in this, by the way, but it's moving freely. I'm not even sure why this one wouldn't cycle. Truthfully. I don't see anything in the chamber. No barrel obstruction. I don't know what to do with this. But the thing is, when it comes to dealing with the system like this, you have an op rod, right? Which introduces a whole other layer of stuff. If we didn't test this, but something could potentially be under the handguard and impede that op rod. This one is in great shape, dude. Like, I'm surprised it didn't just run. Put on here. The trigger group itself is fine. The magwell looks a little, but I don't think it would induce these kind of stoppages that we're seeing, just for good measure. We've got it back together. See how she's feeling. A little sluggish. See if it runs. Ooh. I'm thinking it might be magazine induced. Way less effort on this. Like in terms of like, I have to mortar it. So womp womp. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna call it. All right, so cameraman has brought me a clean magazine, and there's no resistance on running the bolt. I'm thinking it's, oh, kind of was that time. I'm thinking it might be a mag issue. Nope. Yeah. One more for good luck. Yeah, it's not extracting or ejecting. Well, womp womp. All right, so where are we at with our little nonsense test right here? After reviewing the footage, the piston gun went for one more round over the DI gun. That combined with the fact that this locked up and went down so hard to where I was the only way I could free up the bolt was to mortar it. I'm actually going to say that the piston gun did a little bit better. Not by much. Kind of abysmal performances for both of these things, but in the context of our little nonsensical mud test, I'm going to declare the piston gun the winner, which is interesting. I did not expect that. And by that, I mean just like barely, which is pretty crappy. From a reliability standpoint, a short stroke piston system would be preferred in an application like this, where you're using something with a short barrel and a suppressor, where you build up a lot of grime and grit from just firing it, is what I'm talking about here. A piston gun would be better in that application. And maybe I'll try something like this again in the future, except probably a little bit more well prepared, I guess I could say. But in this instance, yeah, I'm gonna give it to the short stroke piston, dude, which is interesting because everybody tells me that they are not better at all in DI outside of less carbon going back into the chamber and the upper receiver. That's like the only benefit of them. But yeah, I think that's demonstrated itself to be just barely better. And granted, you know, these are, you know, kind of cheaper products, like just a straight PSA 10.5 DI upper, and then that started out as a Sabre upper, and then obviously I have modified it with the piston kit. So I don't know, take that for what it's worth. Let me know below which you prefer. You can yell at me in the comments about which one you think is more reliable when it comes to these scenarios, if you will. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna leave you guys with that. Like and subscribe, I guess. Take it easy.